Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Backstick podcast. I'm here as usual with Dom Okus, and today we're joined by my former teammate at Tormenta, Mr. Kazaiah Sterling. Kaza, how you doing, mate?
I'm good, thanks. How you been?
Yeah, good pal, good pal. Dom, how are you?
Yeah, not bad, mate. Long day at work, long ass day at work, but looking forward to this conversation. I've got my fellow Londoner in the building here, so looking forward to it, man.
Yeah. I figured this one would be a fun one for you too.
Yeah, man, 100%, 100%.
Yeah. Well, I mean, just to quickly on yourself, Kaz. You know, we've got currently at Pittsburgh Riverhounds, like Dom, involved in the Tottenham Academy, graduate of that system, Champions League debut, moved over, had a little time in non-league, Tormenta, USL 1 champion, USL 1 final MVP, top goal scorer of all time in Tormenta history. Now you find yourself at Pittsburgh. You've had quite a good career so far, mate, ain't you?
Accolades.
Yeah, so far it's been going decent so far. Obviously, like in football, you always want to improve, want to look to do it at different levels. But yeah, so far, just grateful for the opportunities I've had so far. To be honest, yeah.
Yeah, definitely. And you know, I will say before I bring Dom in and whatever, I actually wasn't sure. We signed around a similar times, and I remember when we got into pre-season mad late, and yeah, I came in the day before you in pre-season,
Mm-hmm.
and I remember myself and the rest of the lads were thinking, "Fucking hell, this lad from Tottenham, he's gonna be big time as fuck." Fuck you.
Bro, you know what? Everyone says that, so literally everyone.
But I'll be honest. One of the nicest people I've ever met in football. So I'm happy to have you on, mate.
No, I appreciate that. Literally everyone said that. Everyone thought, yeah, he's gonna be a dickhead. You know how people are. That's yeah.
Yeah, but mate, you not being funny. Like Tottenham to South George is a bit of a change.
Yeah, crazy.
But was that it? Like, had you heard anything about him, or was it just the fact that obviously he'd come from Spurs and now he was at Tormenta that you thought, he might be a bit big time?
Nah, it was really just the CV, and you think, I think I had a pretty good grasp on what the USL was and what it can be at times, and I knew sort of what I was getting into when I signed for Tormenta and everything, and I just thought this lad's gonna be shell shocked. But I'll be honest, as I said, from day one, he just took it in his stride. And listen, I would love to know as we get into it later in the show, your first impressions of it. But yeah, must have been a shock.
No, 100%, yeah. I didn't really know much about America in general.
Yeah. But you always said you wanted to come, didn't you?
Yeah, because we had a tournament in IMG. 2016, 2017. So we played that IMG thing, and I was just like, when I was out, I was like, this is just so sick.
Yeah.
Just the vibe, just really enjoyed the weather as well. We was in December and it was hot as hell. I was like, what?
Yeah, but that was in Florida, mate.
Yeah, no, I know.
It's not like that where you are now, mate.
No, it's just, winter's coming. They can feel it. Already got the hoodie on.
Yeah, bro.
Temperature's dropping, fam.
That's not like Dom in Austin. He's still got it roasted.
Yeah, mate. I think it hit 30 degrees Celsius today, which for our American listeners is like in the 90s, I think. 90 Fahrenheit, just about. So yeah, it's nice.
Yeah, the degree stuff that still confuses me.
Yeah, I still
like, oh
Google,
damn,
mate.
It's 80 today. I'm like, no, let me just check my phone, man.
That's good.
I'm not even gonna go do the maths for that.
Oh, wow. Good. Yeah. So obviously, Kaz, you grew up in Tottenham, right?
Mm-hmm.
Actually, in Tottenham, from Tottenham. So how far is that from you, Dom?
Probably about 15 or 20 minutes. So not too far. And like you touched on earlier, I was actually part of Spurs' youth academy. So when I was there, which is young years, the training ground was in Middleton House, which is in Enfield, and then you had Spurs Lodge, which was in East, just outside of East, like Chigwell, that Essex area. So obviously going to Spurs Lodge during the week was nice, but when you had to go Middleton House at games on the weekend, long for me personally. But was you, because you must have been there when they had the transition to the new training ground, right?
Yeah, so literally the season I was trialing, was at I call that a bit of Spurs Lodge. So yeah, the season I came was at 20, I think it was 2010, 2011. So they was like moving the next season. Well, they wasn't moving. We had to move to Brentford. We ended up moving to like a temporary spot. So we was there for like a couple seasons, and then we moved back to. It's basically the same thing, Middleton House. It's just the same place, but like they just like renamed it and everything, built around it. So.
Right. And so, just to take it back a step before you even get to Spurs, like, was you playing the Sunday League thing? Was you at like a different academy before you got to Spurs? And what sort of
Yeah,
age were you when you was at Spurs?
I was at Leighton Orient. So I was at Leighton Orient from under nines to under 11s, and then that under 11 season, towards the end, I moved to Tottenham.
Okay. How does that work? So like, did they scout you from playing for Orient, or did you like know one of the coaches at Spurs? How did it happen?
To be fair, my younger age, I didn't really know what was going on. It was just a turn up and play football. So my dad just dealt with all of that. But I think someone had contacted him from like the games at Orient, and then I came in on trial. It was at the end of the season as well. So it was like just hella kids on trial, like crazy amount of kids at the time. Maybe like 20, 30. So it was just like, which made it a bit easier in terms of just like making friends and in that sort of aspect. Like, I wasn't really thinking, oh, these are all my competition. Just like everyone's in like the same sort of boat. So like, settles the nerves a bit, sort of thing.
Jam, was you gonna say something before I ask that question?
Yeah, no, do you know what? I heard a rumor, right? And I've never heard this from your mouth, so I actually wanted to ask. This is pre-Tottenham. I'm talking pre-Leighton Orient. Is it true that your PE teacher at school got you a move to Orient when you were a kid?
Yes.
Wow.
Big
What's his
shouts to
name?
Mr. Hart. Mr. Hart, Adam Hart.
Mr.
I
Hart.
still call him Mr. I'm always gonna call him Mr. Hart for like the rest of my life. But Adam
I love
Hart,
that.
yeah.
What was the process? Like, was he a coach at Orient or?
He was a coach. He was a goalie coach at Orient. So like he done like all that the young age groups, academy stuff, and then obviously like see me play in the playground, PE and stuff, and then one day I think Mukta had already been playing for Leighton Orient at this time. So because Mukta's a year above me, so he'd already got like Mukta signed up and stuff. So then like he just like gave me this letter, said he wants me to come. It was like a trial as well, so I went to the trial, and then the following year I signed. So I was in year 3 at the time, so that would have been like under 8s, I guess. And then yeah, moving into the next season, that's where I was.
Where would you be now?
Who knows?
Harty, man. Mr. Hart. The legend.
No, legend. Literally legend, yeah.
Love that. So just to quickly go back to the Tottenham trial. So you said there was like 20, 30 players on trial. So was that they were basically scouting for like a whole new team in that? Or was they only going to sign a couple of players?
I guess just a couple of players, yeah. So could they have that the academy and that development system as well? So I guess they anyone who wants to be in the academy, they want to be in the academy, they put through, and then anyone they think's good but like not quite there, yeah, they put them in the development thing. So then I guess they like if guys improve, they're still under their system, so they can bring them up, sort of thing. So yeah, because a few of the players that were trialing ended up going to the development. A few of them later on like ended up coming back as well. So it's like, I guess that's how they like kind of keep players involved instead of just saying no, then they go somewhere else.
That makes sense. And then just for people who are listening who aren't maybe familiar with the UK system, so typically people will go for like a 6-week trial, right? So was that the case for you? 6-week trial, and then did it take 6 weeks for you to get signed up? I've heard some crazy stories. People on trial for 6 months, people getting signed after one session, like it runs the gambit, right? So what was it like for you?
The amount of stories, bro. The amount of players that have wasted so much time. It's crazy.
I think mine was definitely around 6, because I got signed at the end of the season, and I think if I remember correctly, I went on loan I went on trial around like February-ish, March, so I got signed at the end of that season. So that transition was kind of smooth because it was like I moved into secondary and I moved into Tottenham, so it was like I was just in like a transition phase in all aspects of life at that time, so like which was kind of good as well for me.
Sick.
Well, yeah, mine was like
Six.
more or less 6 weeks. But like you said, some guys that I'm friends with, one session they just said, "Yep, he's in." Crazy one, Marcus. I remember he was on trial for ages.
Marcus
He was
Edwards.
saying, yeah.
Yeah.
So he's one that they had on trial for ages. Look how good he is. Like
That's
the fact that he's on
crazy
trial
to
for
think
ages
about.
is crazy.
Yeah.
Jaffa Tanganga, he got signed straight away. Couple plays in between. Guys got released from trials.
Was you there for a while?
I'll say probably around. Wait, who, me?
Yeah, like on trial.
Just on
How
the
long was your
trial.
trial?
Yeah, probably around 6 weeks ish.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think
You're in decent company.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think that's pretty standard. I think when I was there, so I got signed going into the under-9 season. So like there, it was like a big cohort of players similar to what you're describing, Kaz, probably like 20, 30 boys, but they're scouting for a whole team of under-9. So maybe I don't know, they're gonna sign 12 or 13 boys. So I probably got signed after like 3 or 4 weeks, like with a bunch of other players who ended up getting signed, which is interesting. But something I want to just touch on quickly, because you mentioned going to Tottenham and going into year 7. What was it like for you going to school as a year 7 in Tottenham, saying that you play for Tottenham? Was that just like a mad badge of honor? We all know what it's like, right? Being an academy player in school and the clout, we call it that it gives you. So what was that like?
You know what's mad? I don't know why, but I didn't tell people I played for Tottenham until like maybe like a few months in. Like, until like it's just like I used to tell people I just played for Leighton Orient still, just like 'cause I wasn't trying to like I wasn't trying to like boast about anything. Like, just,
It's
like,
ridiculous.
not even that. That's what I wasn't trying to. I don't want to be that guy like running around. I play for Tottenham. I play for Tottenham. You know what I mean? Just like that's not really me. So like obviously I just like I'd play football in the playground. People like you must be at a team. I'd just say at Leighton Orient. Then after a while, I just like got out that I played for Tottenham and just like
Yeah, I mean we've touched
that
on
saved
it
me.
before.
That did save me. That saved me from a few beatdowns, 100% from a couple of the oldest.
Probably true.
Saved me. So, no, he's good. He keeps ball for Tottenham. He's good. Because I didn't have no older brothers of that as well. So like, I was going into that secondary, no protection. Just.
Oh yeah, the year 7. Yeah, the year 7 target.
Yeah, it's peak, fam.
Yeah, because we've talked about it before, haven't we, Dom? About how many teams there are in London as well. So it baffles me the fact that like if anything you're talking down playing for Leighton Orient. Like
low key, but
do you know what I mean? Like the fact that it seemed to me like, correct me if I'm wrong, but no one really cared. Oh, he plays for Leighton Orient, whatever.
Yeah, some people might even know what Leighton Orient is, that sort of thing, like as well. Yeah. Unless you like watch football like that, like.
Got ya.
Yeah.
Nah.
It's interesting. Yeah, like you're even just sparking a thought in my mind. It's like how we would rank players. Like they're all really good, but like this boy might play for like Colchester, and then this guy plays for West Ham, and then that guy plays for Chelsea. So like he's the guy.
That's literally it was. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So it's interesting.
100%.
Yeah, that's sick. So obviously you spend a bit of time at Tottenham in the academy, and you work your way up through. And I want to touch on that first time, that transition where you trained with the first team. How old were you?
Pretty sure I was a first year scholar, so I would have been 16. Fucking hell. Like, yeah. Peak, man. In terms of fitness, speed, because obviously I wasn't like the most, like growing up in the academy, the coaches did used to say that to me a lot. Like, I was like one of them players that throughout the session we're doing passing drills. I'm just like, where's the game? I just want game, goals, like finishing, anything with some sort of like finishing in it. That's when I come to life. So I'll be worst player throughout the whole session. We do games, best player now. And like my head of academy said, you can't do that. Like you can't just turn it on. And I wouldn't really get what they meant, but I'm like, they'll say like a first team manager will just chalk you off before you even get the chance to show that, like show what you got sort of thing. And then it didn't really, really click until maybe 16s when I used to train up with the under 18s. And then I'd be like losing balls, stuff like that. And then First team. When I trained with the first team, oh my God. From the start, they do Rondos of the warm-up. Season ticket in the middle. Season ticket. But it's like it's not just Rondo's bob. It's not bob. It's a drill. Like this is the drill. Rondo's bopping it. You have to press. Like you have to press. And like they're bopping it, and then you're pressing it. Megs, bam. Now you're in again.
So
Like,
talk to me. Like who's in that rondo? That first rondo, if you can remember, who's in there with you?
I remember it was Chadley was there. Andros Townsend. Who else was there at the time? I think it might have been Danny Rose might have been in there. It might have been an international break because there was a few guys definitely not there. 100% there was a few guys definitely not there. But those are the ones that I really remember. I think Clinton and G was there at the time.
Winger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't remember everyone, but I just know I was getting bopped in there, like, and a few of the 20, maybe a couple 21s players, like Cameron Carter-Vickers was there. He'd have been there, but yeah, I just remember getting bopped in the rondo. I'll never forget. I remember what boots I had on, everything. Bopped, bro.
It sounds traumatic, mate. It doesn't sound.
Bro, I swear on everything it was. I'm telling you, like. I was like, yo, that's just the rondo. But the training's just started and my legs are heavy now. I'm blowing. I'm like, yo. Like,
Mate, I don't know why I'm laughing yet because you're saying this about Tottenham. I remember the first time I trained with Plymouth first team, and it was the same thing on a bobbly pitch down in Plymouth, and I'm
couldn't even blame
chasing
the
the
pitch.
Rondos. Like,
Couldn't even blame the pitch, bro. Like, no excuses, bro. Like, no excuses. That rondo just like your ability to like maneuver the ball, pitches, stuff, your touch, like. And my thing was more like a speed aggression. Like I said, shooting, but that none of that matters in rondos. Like,
yeah.
So after that, I was like, damn, fuck it, that can't be a thing. Like,
Mate, do you know what's funny? The amount of players that get written off if they're shit in the rondo. First time
like,
you train.
Even now,
lads
like,
get written off.
Mm-hmm. Even now, I think that they came in the rondo. I'm like, yeah, like,
Dead.
because I feel like a lot of the good players are good in rondos. Like, if you're good in rondos, like more often than not, like I know players that normally gonna be good. Like,
Yeah, have you ever heard the one story? I can't remember who said it at Liverpool, but they were saying about Andy Robertson. They were saying like the worst rondo player of all time they've ever seen. But you put him out on there on a Saturday and he's a joke.
I could kind of see that though. I could kind of see that. Like, I could, especially at the levels like extremely high as well. It's not just no normal rondo. Like guys are like, what you'd think is a stitch ain't a stitch. Like, yeah, deal with it. Like, I wrapped it and deal with it.
Yeah. So, just talking about the first time trying to train him with the first team, and you mentioned it's an international break. So, was you kind of just filling in with four players who'd kind of gone away?
Yeah, and because I was doing well in the academy at the time, like I started at my scholarship really good at and just training, just really on it. I was just loving it, like training every day. I was just like, perfect. Like, don't have to worry about school. We done like the education thing on like a Monday and a Thursday. But like for like half the day, but like every day to train, I was loving it. That's all I have to worry about.
And just to explain again to our viewers who might not be aware, when you say scholarship, because we've got an American folks that might be thinking like university scholarship. When you say scholarship, you're basically talking about like an apprenticeship. Where you're a full-time player for 2 years, you're being paid to play, and you're essentially living the life of a professional footballer without maybe the millions of pounds yet until you sign a professional deal and then become a first team player.
Yeah. No, literally that. So like you finish school at 16 and then if you're not like doing lots of people, they go into either like sixth form, college, and then go into uni at 18, or you could do like an apprenticeship. So like that's like you said, the equivalent of an apprenticeship. So started that full time, and with Tottenham as well, like I'm guessing I'm assuming it's like that with other academies, but the expectation is like you're basically a pro. We got treated like pros, like off first day, bam. I remember left my jump in the gym, fine, straight away, bam. Name on the board, done. And the thing is, sometimes that was because the first time, but you don't get like a warning that you don't know. You just see an envelope come to your digs. So yeah, we moved into digs as well. All of us like we left home and then got moved into like host families. I guess I feel like quite a few clubs across England do that.
Yeah.
But for me, it was weird because like at one point my digs was further than where my house was. But like they just wanted to get us used to being away
Oh,
from
really?
home.
That's interesting. That.
A few
So
guys,
was
yeah, a few
digs
guys are definitely
was digs mandatory for you lot then? You had to do it, I
yeah
assume.
mandatory.
Right, okay.
Like there was
Wow.
literally guys whose digs were further than their houses. But
That's
I do
interesting.
kind of
I don't
get
think I've heard that.
what they was trying to get at though. Like just being away from home. I guess they can have a bit more control over you as well. Like because they tell like the host families they're only allowed this sort of food. They're only they have to be home this time, stuff like that. So I guess it's easier to like manage. But we got picked up with minibuses in the morning. So we had like set times
Oh, okay.
and it's your late, minibus gone.
Mate, let me tell you now, it was not like that at Plymouth. I lived about a mile away from Home Park, from the stadium. And on the days where my lift wasn't driving, I was walking. Rain or
But
shine.
Plymouth,
There was no minibus coming to pick me up.
were there even buses down them sides?
Yeah, but they were like public buses. And mate,
Yeah,
I'm not being funny. Like I thought, footballer for Plymouth Argyle, I'm not getting a bus. Like,
but you know what's mad? You know what's crazy? Hell of us, man. Like when we went driving, we'd link up and get on the train. Like
yeah, but I feel like
there's
that's more common because like that's not a thing where I'm from. Like that's a
that's
thing
what
in
I'm saying.
London.
Yeah.
That's normal.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Plymouth, like
That's
I didn't
interesting.
even know. Obviously, you had buses, but did they even run regular like that? Or
Ah, mate, I wouldn't know. I didn't get mate,
Um,
touching on the youth team before you go, Dom, there, just quickly. For me, and I'm sure you'll say the same thing, Kaz, but for me it was the best time playing football ever. Like you just like you touched on before, you just left school, you're playing football, you're getting paid to play football at 16. It was the best time of my life. And you're literally getting paid to be around some of your best mates day in, day out. Like it is it they always used to say don't take it for granted. And I always thought, oh nah, like it'll get better. And like I still look back now and I still speak to the lads in the youth team. Like it was the best time ever.
yeah, I definitely agree with that. Tottenham though is weird because like it started off like all fun and games. So like we went in like July. It's like it changed with the weather. I swear to God, all fun and games. And as it got colder, it just got like, yo, this is like this is real. This ain't funny no more. Like this is like,
Serious.
and like they was really serious with us. Like I said, they wanted us to like be professional to the team, almost more professional than a first team.
Hmm.
Obviously, to get them like have sort of habits in, so that they was clamping down on us. Like it wasn't just like we got free time, mess around. They wanted us like either like extra training or like watching clips and stuff, which boys did. But like a lot of the time, you're there from like what we was there from like 8:30 to 5, and we only trained for like
Brutal.
that period. So like, what the hell do you do most of the day? So like, change.
Was you doing jobs like at Tottenham
Yeah, we
or
had boots. We had to do
yeah?
players' boots, but that's only first years. But like,
Okay.
yeah, players'
Whose boots
boots.
were
But
you on?
like, I was on Kane and Lamelo,
Right.
mad.
or Kane and Dembele.
So Lamela's right foot was always clean.
Everyone's boots were clean because if they weren't, you was getting caught. You just see in the group chat whose boots are blah blah blah, and if it got in the group chat, it was long because our head of academy is in the group chat, and you know if anything's bam, you're just in his office next. It's just long. Like you don't need him on your back at all for anything. So it's just that it was that yeah, seeing your name get popped up in the chat, it's just like fuck, I'm
Nah.
cooked.
Did you have a good relationship with your head of academy?
I did. Like he was like really harsh on me, but like it was like a like tough love sort of thing, which is like some people like is one of them like some people are, oh, he's like a dickhead blah blah blah, but I loved him to this day, like one of the best people I've worked with. Like I think that's like very smart. Just like the stuff we saw, like the like little mind games he would play with us and stuff. Like you think you're doing well, then you just like he wouldn't start you, or like he would like maybe favor like a player who's like you're better than, but like if you're not playing to your like your top potential, you can still be better than this guy. But if you're not playing to your top potential, he'd be like, you're not playing. This guy's playing.
Yeah,
Stuff
I'm sure
like
that teaches you values big
that.
time, like
100%,
going
yeah.
forward. Yeah, they put that in you from a young age. That's class.
He's very similar to my dad. So like
Yeah.
when I went full time, I'm like, yes, Ray for my dad, because my dad was on me as well, kind of strict. So I'm like, yeah, Ray for my dad, bam, run straight into him. So it's like no break, just like damn, just gotta be like mentally on it at all times. Just like I think that helped to even now, just like even in like my transition period with Tottenham to Tormenta, that's why it was just so like easy for me, because I feel like I just prepared. I was basically prepared for that, like just being into that, going to that. It's not always going to be rosy and stuff, which I think is quite hard for a lot of like academy players. That adaptation.
Big time. So I wanted to touch on obviously you're in and around the first team a little bit more, and I wanted to touch on you went on quite a few loans, didn't you, as a young age? So obviously you went to Sunderland, Doncaster, Leyton Orient, and Southend, right? Yeah. So obviously that's quite a bit for a young player. What did that teach you? And I'm not asking you to go through every single one. I'm just saying, just overall, going out playing games in the Football League compared to playing in the 23s or just being with the first team and training, like how different was that?
Yeah, just like something as little as like the game means more, You can win a 23s game. It could be a game versus Tottenham 23s, Arsenal 23s. I'm thinking, massive game. But like it's nothing compared to just a normal league fixture. Just going on, because that's people got stuff on the line. They want like bonuses, mortgages, stuff like that. Like it matters. Everything matters. Like So just being in an environment that is different. Just like because growing up in London as well, I feel like London culture is like extremely different to like just other parts of the country. So like adapting to that was like that was like a really big like damn, like didn't realize that sort of shit goes on in change rooms. Stuff like that.
What?
You could
like
just
what?
like just very
give me some
PG
details.
stuff,
Like what?
like some crazy shit. Some like I'm talking people doing it like when people are naked, so just like loads of shit. Like some I feel like it's the further up north from like not from London you go, the crazier the shit happens. So
Mate,
like,
it doesn't get better when you go more south, pal, trust me.
like I'm just like, yo, and I'm just like trauma. I'm like, what? Like, is this normal? Everyone's just like laughing, like nothing's going on. I'm just like, yo, just.
Oh,
Well,
that's funny.
let's actually get into it. So, what was the craziest thing that you saw in that time?
Probably just like trying to think. Just people like being like naked in the change room and like touching each other and shit. Just stuff like that. And that being funny. Like, to me that's never gonna be funny. Like especially like seeing it live, that's never gonna be funny. But that's some people's like banner in it. So
I will say, because I'll be honest, the first team change room at Plymouth was very similar. But I also think that me and you, Kaz, the year that we came through the youth team and the apprenticeship, I really do believe that our age group was like the last age group where the old school mentality was applied. I feel like
I think so as well, yeah.
The youth teams nowadays, it's not the same. They're a lot more like protected from that sort of environment. So I really do, because I mean, you can speak for some of the younger lads that you've known coming up, but especially at Plymouth, it's just nowhere near the same. And like, you can't say certain things anymore. You have to treat everyone sort of on a level playing field.
Yeah.
Whereas, like, we really were that last sort of generation of like, shut the fuck up, you're 16.
Oh yeah, straight like that, yeah.
Yeah.
16-year-old could even be better than this guy who's talking to him, but like, I guess there's that sort of respect in like, even like at Tottenham, it's like if a player's good, he's good. But like I feel like in like the lower league changing room, this really like a sort of hierarchy. Like you can literally get bullied, like literally bullied in a change room, and that's fine. You know, as part of. I guess it is part of growth. It is character building. But like you said, there's like more protection nowadays, I guess.
Yeah. And just to bring it back quickly to the loans. So you mentioned obviously all the clubs that you went on loan to. Did you make your Tottenham debut before you went on loan? Because I
Yeah.
feel like, so did that have a certain level of expectation on you being this kid that's played for Spurs in whether it's been the Champions League or the Premier League or one of the cups, and now you're obviously going to a team in the lower league? Was there a certain level of expectation that you're going to come in and maybe change things as this young wonder kid from
Um,
Spurs?
a bit in terms of just like maybe like articles and stuff, but like me, I never like growing up. I just never like looked into that like external like hype sort of thing. So like for me, it was the only pressure there was just like on myself or like maybe a manager put on me. But like it wasn't just like a like like you said that one the kid from Tottenham coming on loan, loads of pressure. I never really saw it as that. I just like and I guess
Yeah,
that another thing going back to my academy manager, he was very like keeping us grounded. So like players would go to England. As soon as you got back, he was like anyone who came back from international duty, like youth levels, on them hard, extra hard. Like you're not just telling them you're not at you're not at England no more.
Yeah,
Like
back to earth.
fix up, back to work sort of thing. Like so they made jokes like England, you lot are going on holiday camp. Like they'd really like play. I swear down, they'd really like play down like getting called up for England to the point where it's like maybe like almost a little bit embarrassing getting called up. Like
Swear.
Mm-mm.
I wouldn't want to say embarrassing, but it's just like I'm going England. Fuck, when I come back, I just know like they're gonna think, he's big time, blah blah blah, stuff like that. Which is like I guess it can go two ways, but for me, I like the kind of mindset it installed into me, just like just being humble and down to earth about stuff.
Yeah, that's actually a really good segue. So you talk about kind of representing your country at schoolboy level. So what was
hmm
it like getting called up for the first time, and also like what sort of players that maybe we now see for England's first team or across the Premier League were part of your age group?
So my first call up was like just like a random tournament in Portugal. I ended up scoring on my debut, so like
Sick.
that was great. I'm trying to
Sick.
think who was. I don't think all the main people that was calling up at the time, not all of them got called up at the time, but like trying to think who was there at the same time as you. Reece Oxford, Marcus Edwards, that them sort of players. Well, Chris Willock were in that team and were called up at the time. And then after that, I done well. And that was the time when I was playing up in the youth cup. So I was under 16s, but I was playing in the under 18s youth cup. And like I was doing well, and then I scored in like the semi-final, and that was on TV as well. So it's like the rest of the games weren't on TV, but the semi-final was. Ended up scoring in that, which was at the time for me. Even like looking back in terms of that context and stuff, like one of my favorite goals of like my career, I'd
Love that.
say. Just
Sick.
that how everything happened, and
You got a
then
better
went to it.
experience of the Youth Cup than me, mate. I got bounced out 2 years in a row at home to Portsmouth, 3-0 and 4-0.
Oh,
Oh yeah, because
howler,
you get
mate.
a team like fairly local to you, right?
Mm-hmm. Then we got
Yeah, so
bopped
like
in the stadium, in front of the first team, in front of the
stadium,
fans,
yeah.
in front of everyone, 2 years in a row. Didn't score a goal. I give away a pen my second year. We got bopped, mate. Sorry to interrupt you there, Kaz, but the little lad that plays for Ipswich now, Connor Chaplin.
Yeah, yeah.
So he was at Portsmouth Youth, and our first year he didn't play against us in the league because he was I don't know if he was injured or whatever. And then we played him in the Youth Cup, and they won 4-0, and he's got 3 goals and an assist. And I've never seen anything like it. Like at
Mm.
that level, like the Cat 2, Cat 3
Yeah,
league,
yeah.
I'd never seen anything like it. He just embarrassed us. He beat us single-handedly, absolutely destroyed us. Next week, he's on the bench for the first team, comes on, scores 2 goals, and then he's in the first team for the rest of the season. And now he's gone on and like he's played in the Prem for Ipswich. So maybe beating us was the catalyst for him going on and doing what he
Maybe
did.
football's literally like that. Like it could be one game where the academy manager look like Youth Cup for a lot of us was like the biggest like time that Pochettino might actually be watching us. Like he'd come to a few games. This was at the stadium, so like those are like almost like showcase games for us to like get into the first team. So like yeah, speaking back to that England stuff at the time. So this is actually a hilarious story. So we go to England. Bear in mind, I'm still in school. Like GCSEs are coming up.
Mm-hmm.
So we got mock exams. So I'm gonna be missing school for this trip. So it's Euro qualifiers. That's what it was. Euro qualifiers. I'm gonna be missing school. So they send me away with the mock paper. So I've got it early. I'm like, got the paper early. Yo, gonna bust the man them. So I send pictures back of the mock exam. It's a maths, I'll never forget, maths exam to my group. There's a massive group chat in school, like massive group chat. So I've sent it back. I'm thinking, yeah, man, neighborhood hero, got the man them. Next day or so, one of the guys from England, like, not even the manager, like one of the guys that does like the education stuff, like, calls me in, blah, blah, blah. Why is the school rung us saying, you sent the exam back, blah blah blah. I'm thinking, I've only just got into this English. I'm thinking, I am cooked. I'm cooked. We had a meeting. Got sent. I normally remember everything, but that meeting, I can barely remember that meeting. I just remember him saying, yeah, you're gonna have to. The coach was saying you're gonna have to go home. Yeah, you're gonna have to go back to school.
No way.
So I got sent back from England.
No way.
And I had to go back to school. So I'm like,
that's mental.
I'm like, I can't believe I've been betrayed at this. That
neighborhood hero turned villain. Mad.
Quick.
In all honesty, what are the school gaining out of that? Like, they can just change the paper.
But
why are they bringing a kid back who's playing for England?
The school didn't even want to send me away. Is that like, as it is, the school didn't even want to send me away. They're on like, oh. That's how it was. It wasn't like, oh my God. Like, you see out in America, like, if you play for like your national team, you're like almost cherished. Like, I see like loads of kids and stuff, and they're like got anything international, like they're bigged up, hyped up. It's like some teachers like genuinely hating that to give me a hard time just because like, I was playing football. They thought, oh, I think he can do what he want, blah blah. And it was nothing to do with football, just like, you know. But like, yeah, got sent back to school. I didn't talk to anyone in the group chat at all. Like, I'm talking to some of my closest friends even to this day. I didn't speak to them for like a hot minute just because I was just like,
nah, it's betrayal, that.
I just felt, yeah. Luckily, I still had I was still doing well at Tottenham and stuff. Then I had to go in and speak to my academy manager about it. That's probably the scariest out of what. I'm just like, yeah, I'm cooked. My dad was quite understanding.
You just thought you were gone.
I didn't think I'd get released, but like I thought, yeah, I'm cooked. I was thinking when my parents found out, I'm cooked. My dad's quite. That's probably one of the calmer things he was calm about. He's kicked off about worse shit. I mean, way less shit. So I was like, oh, cool. But yeah, having to speak to like my academy manager, I was like, oh, I genuinely couldn't think of anything worse. Knowing I was fucked, and then had to like speak to him about it. It was just like,
So mate, it's funny talk about, yeah, Dom, go.
No, jump on.
No, I was just literally saying, like, it makes sense now when you said earlier about they're very similar people. Your academy manager and your dad. And it was like the two people that you actually gave a shit about what they thought. It was them two people. You actually didn't care what the teachers thought. You thought, I'm not going to talk to my friends.
Give a toss, yeah.
It was those two, and that was it.
That's all that mattered. That you know, like there's like, I guess playground status, all of that rubbish, but like none of that matters because at the end of the day, I gotta go home to my dad, and John, he's at that's like my workplace. So like you know, those two opinions were like, generally the only ones that like I was really like, damn. Like,
yeah.
So yeah, it was in the doghouse with him for a bit, but like, yeah. Going into the scholarship, just worked hard.
Yeah. So just to take it back, sorry, I know we keep kind of zigzagging all over the place, but to take it
Oh,
back
that's
to the
good.
loans, um, like how did they end up going for you overall? Because I think through my experience, like my older brother who was at West Ham for 10 years, then ended up playing for Dagenham and Redbridge for a bit, then ended up playing some non-league stuff. At West Ham's academy, obviously they're taught to kind of play out from the back, possession football, really build up. And then you go into some of the lower league stuff and it's like running the channel, play up against a 6'5" ugly centre back
Hmm.
and play with your back to goal. It's a very different style of football.
Yeah.
So like, how did you adjust to that first of all? And then second of all, like how did the loans go in general? Did you find it hard to adjust?
So it's like, I guess, because I've always been like a smaller striker, I kind of got a glimpse of like the playing. I was quite physical. I could jump really high. I was quick. So like for a lot of managers, that's like, yeah, he's gonna run the channel sort of thing. And I didn't really enjoy doing that, but like, like football's about adapting. I would do if it meant I was gonna play, I'd 100% do it sort of
Yeah.
thing. So the Sunderland one was weird because obviously I've got there expecting I'm gonna be getting some decent minutes at least. Cause like not without earning it obviously, but like I'm thinking, you know, they've just sold a striker. I've just come in, there's no reason why I shouldn't really be playing. And then I only really found this out when I watched the Sunderland Till I Die documentary. They signed Will Grigg like I literally left at like probably got signed at like 9 o'clock on deadline day, and then they signed Will Grigg at like 12, like literally on the dot, 12 o'clock on the dot, and they like break the League One record fee for him as well. Like I didn't really know that at the time, but when I watched it back, it was like it was a crazy deal. Like them even doing the deal was like a bit insane. Like they was like, no, we can't do that. We can't afford it. Blah blah. They broke the record for him, and like yeah, he had to play. Like there's
Yeah.
no two ways right. He had to play.
Wow. I've
So
never, do
that
you know
one
what?
was
I
a bit
don't even
hard. Yeah,
know. I don't think we've ever even, I think I've made fun of you for the documentary, but we've
yeah. I
never actually
barely
talked
featured in
because
it,
you're not
but
in it,
yeah,
are you? You're not really in it.
nah. So like yeah, that happened. So like I was like, damn. So in my experience was just like, just work hard in training. If you show that in training you can do it, you can be the best player in training, like you'll play sort of thing. So I was like, you know what, that's fine. I'm not playing, but I'm gonna make sure I'm on it in training every day, turn up early every day, just all them little things that, but just yeah, just never really got a chance,
Yeah, that's a shame.
Yeah.
which is unfortunate. But that is football. And I guess at the time there was a lot of pressure for Sunderland to go up as well. So like looking back on it, I do kind of understand to a certain extent why I didn't get the chances that I thought I should have. But like, you know, and like both strikers weren't even firing at the time as well. So I'm like surely I'm gonna get like some game time, but like didn't really get much game time. I got a few appearances, all of them off the bench, scored in one of them. But like yeah, after it was like just really hard to like get
Was
in the
that your
team
first
at the
pro goal?
yeah.
Yeah.
Accrington Stanley away, cold as hell. Oh my God, freezing.
Yeah. Talk me through it. Talk me through it.
Um, so someone's got played. I'm on the bench this game thinking I'm defo. They're missing sitters upon like crazy sitters. I'm like, oh my God, like I'm defo. I must be coming on because I'm defo scoring in this game. We scored 2 goals early. Um, so I come on now. Um, Lewis Morgan, he's in America now. Where's he at now? Red
Mm-hmm.
Bulls. Yeah, so he's been slipped in down the side, and he's like played me a ball across. It's kind of like it's not a sweaty, but it's kind of a sweaty. But it's one of
Mm-hmm.
them where like the keeper's kind of like it's very missable. But if
Yeah,
you
yeah,
do
yeah.
miss it, everyone's saying he's shit. How the fuck
Was
do you
it
not
fit?
score that?
Was it
It wasn't
fizzed?
no, it wasn't fit, so it was like kind of tricking, so that the keeper's like kind of following the ball, so like he's not even like
Oh,
out.
okay.
So I'm
Yeah,
just
yeah,
like, and it's bobbly as hell. I'm just like, I'm watching that ball like a hawk. I'm just like, low, hard into the corner, like you practice every day.
yeah. Yeah, there you go.
Bam, goes in, and then yeah, more relief when it went in than anything. I can't lie.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I bet. How many times you watched it back?
Um, of recent, can't remember. But definitely when I watched it back, I watched it a few times. Celebration, I like. that kind of like half jumped into the crowd as well. It was by the way end as well. Then Sunderland fans are
Oh,
crazy.
cult
So it was like
hero. Don't fall in love with a lone player. That was you, wasn't
lone player that don't play.
it? Oh,
Um,
ledge.
but I think that's a good segue into kind of what happens next, right? So I think a lot of the fans will
hmm
know you for kind of playing here in the US. So obviously things end up, kind of ending at Tottenham. So talk us a little bit through about like what happened there, and then kind of what happens next in your footballing journey.
So my last few years at Tottenham were a bit weird. So like it goes back to like my loan, the loan after the Sunderland one, going to that season, going on loan at Doncaster. I really liked. I feel like that was a system that I was really gonna do well in. Just off like training, just like free preseason games and stuff. So my first game, I think I'll come on and get an assist. Um, my next game, it's like a EFL Cup game against I think Lincoln or something. So I score in that one. I score and assist in that one. So I'm thinking, yeah, like I've scored, assisted twice, like surely get my start in the league. Get injured before half, so I had to come up before half time, and it ended up being my last game of the season. So I
Wow.
was out for like the rest of the year. It's like it's like a weird injury. So it's just a dead leg. I thought just a dead leg. Then like it like calcified and turned into bone. So that's like a blood clot that turned into like bone. So just like a weird random injury. And then I ended up being out for the rest of the year. I signed for Leyton Orient in that January transfer window, even though like I was like rehabbing. It was like I knew like the manager that was there at the time. It's like they thought I was like maybe gonna come back in that sort of time. So like there's like, yeah, we'll sign him, and then when he's ready to play, he can play. COVID ended up happening, so like the season was just done. I wouldn't have been ready to play anyway, but like yeah, COVID happened, so like I had to do that rehab during like the COVID period, which was actually quite good, weirdly enough, because like that COVID year, England was like hot. Like it was hot, it got hot in like April, which was like rare. Like
Mm.
so, like I was doing my rehab in the park. Some of my boys were even doing it with me. So like we was like doing rehab that. So that was kind of like a decent period. Just getting fit and stuff, and then going into that next season, I went on to Southend, which just wasn't that a great loan in general. Just the team wasn't doing well. It was like coming in, there's just like maybe three on the bounce. There's like embargo stuff like that. There was just loads going on. So like, and the football wasn't going great as well. So we just getting that smashed like most games. So that was like quite hard to deal with. I saw then like yeah, it was like there wasn't gonna be a path into the first team for me. So it was just like I just knew by that January that like I wouldn't be like at Tottenham no more. So I was just like looking for teams abroad, stuff like that. COVID made it really hard though, just in
Yeah.
terms of like just moving around. Just like I feel like being that out of contract around them that time was just like teams were just like, oh, we don't have money, we don't have this, don't this. Even like getting trials was hard because like we can't have you in because you got to do this COVID test that like it was just crazy. Generally, just like even getting to train places.
So what did that do to you? And like going to be honest, right? Because like
hmm
you're a kid that's come through a top academy in the country. Obviously, you've made your first team debut. You've played a bunch of games in the league, and now you find yourself in a position where you're even struggling to get a trial, like even a look
Yeah,
in
yeah.
somewhere, right? Like I can't even get a session. Like you don't even you don't have to pay me. I'm just gonna drive there or get the train there, and then I'm just gonna train. So like, what did that do to you? Like from like a ego perspective, like you seem like a quite humble guy, but what did that do to like your ego, your confidence, and then like just speak about that time.
Ego wise, it was fine for me because I feel like I said, I've never really like in my own head, I've never really hyped myself up like too big. Um, but just it was just like I was just like, damn. Obviously, my last two loans, like I just weren't enjoying the football, so I was just like, it got to a point where I was just like, damn, like I'm not even like enjoying football right now. This is like crazy. So I was just like doing fitness stuff, blah blah blah. Then I was like, it just came into my head that at the time, like, I do really want to like play in America. Like, I've always wanted to play in America. Like, in my mind, that was just like the perfect time to go. I just needed like a reset, fresh start, just like go somewhere where like my friends aren't there, no one's there, just me and football. I can enjoy it and just like kind of lock in. So that was like kind of my thought process in going. It was hard though, definitely was hard, but like I feel like I'm quite if I can't control it, I'm not gonna stress about it person. I don't know how I've drilled that into my
Love
head, but
that.
like
Yeah.
if I can't control it, then I'm just like, it
Yeah.
is what it is sort of thing.